1. Introduction. Why do many English learners still struggle when speaking? Have you ever wondered why? Despite studying English for a long time, you still feel slow when speaking? Do you know that the main reason is not because you aren't hardworking or lack knowledge, but because your brain has not been trained to think directly in English? Most English learners worldwide have a very common habit. They always translate each sentence from their native language into English when speaking or listening. You think of a sentence in your mother tongue, then start translating word by word into English in your mind. Although it seems normal, this is actually the biggest obstacle preventing you from speaking fluently. Imagine you are playing a video game, but every time you want to jump, you have to walk a long way first. It's the same when you translate sentence by sentence. You have to take a detour through your native language. As a result, your speech becomes slow, hesitant, unnatural, and you feel stressed and lose confidence. Why is that? Because your brain is not yet accustomed to connecting thoughts directly with English. You haven't built a shortcut, a direct link between your thoughts and the English language. This is completely understandable because from birth until adulthood, you have been used to thinking in your native language. It is the first language you learned and used daily to communicate and express yourself. English is still a foreign language for you, not yet a natural part of who you are. So how can you change this? The answer is to train your brain to think directly in English, meaning when you want to speak or understand, you no longer translate but think immediately in English. Thinking in English not only helps you speak faster but also helps you understand better, listen better, and respond flexibly in all communication situations. It transforms English from a difficult language into a natural part of your daily life. However, building this habit is not an overnight process. It requires consistent practice and the right methods. Fortunately, the brain is like a muscle. If trained regularly, it becomes stronger and more efficient. In the next parts, you will explore extremely effective ways to practice thinking in English, which are easy to apply daily and don't take much time. Each method is designed so you can start from the simplest steps, suitable for all levels and lifestyles. Imagine just spending a few minutes each day. You will gradually notice a clear difference as your brain begins to think and react naturally in English. You will find yourself speaking English more confidently, without worrying or hesitating every time you communicate. Most importantly, you will open a new door, the door to opportunities, personal development, and your career. Because when you think in English, you also expand your worldview and your ability to access global knowledge and culture. Surely you are eager to know what these practice steps are, right? Don't worry. In the following sections, I will guide you step by step in detail and with vivid examples. Remember, switching from thinking in your mother tongue to thinking in English is a journey, not a race. Every small step you take is valuable and worthy of celebration. You can definitely do it. So, are you ready to change the way you learn English? To make your brain work like a native speaker? If yes, let's start today. Benefits of thinking in English. Why your brain needs to speak English directly. Did you know that our brain is like a smart machine, always looking for the fastest and most efficient way to operate? When you learn a new language, your brain has to create new connections to process and deliver information. If you keep translating each sentence from your native language into English, it's like your brain has to take a long detour instead of a direct path. This not only slows down your speaking and comprehension speed but also drains a lot of your mental energy, making you feel stressed and less confident when communicating. That's why training your brain to think directly in English is the key to learning English faster and speaking fluently like a native speaker. Thinking in English speeds up your language reflexes. When you think in English, it means your brain has built a direct path between your thoughts and English, no longer translating. This helps you react faster when speaking or listening, making communication much more effective. Imagine you are talking with a native speaker. If your brain has to translate every sentence, the conversation will be interrupted, losing coherence and natural flow. But once you get used to thinking in English, words flow naturally and you won't feel confused or have to stop and think. Improves listening comprehension. Thinking in English also helps you understand English better. When your brain is accustomed to reading and understanding, directly in English. You won't have to hear a sentence and then translate it in your head. Instead, you grasp the meaning immediately, keeping up with native speakers and enjoying conversations, movies, or songs fully boosts confidence in communication. One of the biggest barriers that stop English learners from speaking is the fear of making mistakes or mispronouncing words. When you train yourself to think in English, you gradually break the habit of translating sentence by sentence and instead think directly, reducing anxiety and pressure. Confidence comes from being able to speak English without worrying about translation or perfect grammar. What matters is expressing your ideas clearly and speaking fluently and naturally. Helps you remember vocabulary better and understand more deeply. When you think in English, you don't just memorize vocabulary passively but learn how to use words in real contexts. Using vocabulary in your thoughts creates strong neural connections in your brain, helping you remember words longer and use them naturally like native speakers. Instead of just memorizing meanings, you learn how to use words in sentences linked with emotions, actions, or specific situations. This is the most effective way to learn vocabulary and use it flexibly in communication. Increases creativity and expression in English. Thinking directly in English also develops your creativity in language use. When you no longer have to translate, you can come up with new expressions and more natural, vivid sentences. You start to think like native speakers, which is very important not only to speak correctly but also to speak beautifully and expressively. Practice anytime, anywhere. Another big benefit of thinking in English is that you can practice anytime, anywhere. You don't need someone to talk to or attend classes. Every daily action can become a chance to practice. When you look at objects, do house chores, walk, or even relax lying down, you can talk to yourself silently in English. This creates a continuous English learning environment, helping your brain get used to English, forming a natural and lasting habit of thinking in English. Blank, underscore, blank. In summary, thinking directly in English is a crucial and effective step to overcome translation barriers, speed up language reflexes, improve listening skills, boost confidence, remember vocabulary deeply, and enhance creativity in English. This is the key to making English a natural part of your daily life. Believe that with consistent practice and the right methods, you can train your brain to think flexibly and effectively in English. In the next part, I will guide you how to start with specific exercises to activate this ability immediately. 3. Methods to practice thinking in English. After understanding the importance and benefits of thinking in English, now you need a concrete plan to practice daily. Below are simple, effective, and easy to apply methods to help you start training your English thinking right away. Name the objects around you in English. The first method, and a very easy one, is to form a habit of naming the objects around you in English. This is the first step to help your brain create a direct link between the object and the English word, instead of translating through your native language. For example, when you see a table, say, table, in your mind. When you see a chair, say, chair. When you're outside and see trees, cars, or houses, name them in English silently in your head. You don't need to say it out loud, you can do it anytime and anywhere. Like waiting for a bus or doing house chores. Over time, this habit becomes natural, making your brain accustomed to thinking in English about the world around you, gradually making English thinking more natural and quicker. Describe your daily actions in English. A very effective way to practice thinking in English is to describe what you are doing in English. When doing housework, brushing your teeth, cooking, or getting dressed, say or think simple sentences like, I am brushing my teeth, I am boiling water, or, I am putting on my shirt. Describing your actions at the moment helps your brain link thoughts with English naturally, no longer needing to translate sentence by sentence. The more often you do it, the faster your reflexes will be when you want to speak English in real situations. Talk to yourself in English in your mind. You can imagine having a conversation with yourself in English. Ask simple questions in your head and answer them in English, such as, what should I eat today? Maybe I'll make some rice and vegetables. Or, should I order pizza or go to a restaurant? This self-talk helps you practice language reflexes, increase fluency, and boost confidence in English communication. It also familiarizes you with using English in your daily thoughts. Challenge yourself. A great way to develop English thinking is to set challenges for yourself. Start by spending 1 hour a day thinking only in English about everything you do. Think and feel. If you accidentally switch back to your native language, don't worry, gently bring your focus back to English. Gradually, you can increase this time to 2 hours, 3 hours, or even the whole day. This challenge not only trains perseverance but also creates an environment where your brain becomes used to working in English, helping you progress faster. Expand your vocabulary and use new words immediately. Vocabulary is a crucial foundation for thinking in English. But you need to do more than just memorize new words. You must use them immediately in sentences and thoughts. An effective way is to learn words by groups, such as fruits, clothes, kitchen items. Then try to make simple sentences using those words. I need apples and bananas. I wear a jacket when it's cold. This helps new words not only be remembered but also understood deeply and used flexibly in real life. Watch videos, listen to podcasts, read English texts and summarize. Besides learning new words, you need to practice understanding and processing English information. When watching videos or listening to podcasts, don't just passively consume but focus and then summarize what you just heard in English in your mind. For example, if you watch a cooking video, think, first, boil water, then add salt, next, put in pasta, cook for 10 minutes. Summarizing in English trains your brain to process information directly in English, which is important for English thinking skills. Imagine daily communication scenarios. You should also practice imagining specific communication situations to improve reflexes and confidence in real-life interactions. For example, imagine you are at a supermarket and think, I need to buy rice. Where is the rice section? Here it is. This one looks good. Or when at a cafe, I want a cappuccino and a slice of cake. Excuse me, can I have these please? Practicing these situations prepares you to handle real conversations without confusion. Write a diary and talk to yourself in the mirror. Writing a diary in English every day is a great way to practice thinking. You don't have to write long or perfect sentences. Just write a few simple sentences about what you did or felt today. Also, stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself in English. Start with simple sentences like, Hi, how are you? Today I went to work. This helps you practice pronunciation, increase confidence, and get used to English in a low-pressure environment. Blank, underscore, blank. In conclusion, these are simple but extremely effective methods to help you practice thinking in English daily. Applying these small steps regularly will help you build a direct English thinking path, making your English speaking natural, fast, and confident. Start today with a small habit, like naming objects around you or describing your current actions. Gradually, your brain will get used to thinking in English, opening a wide door for your future English abilities. 4. Notes and encouragement in the process of practicing thinking in English. The journey of practicing thinking in English is not always easy. You will face many challenges, feel discouraged, or doubt your abilities. Therefore, understanding important notes and maintaining a positive mindset will help you stay motivated and make steady progress. Don't worry about mistakes and perfect grammar. A very common mistake among English learners is being too focused on perfect grammar when thinking or speaking English. However, at the early stage of practicing thinking, you don't need to be too perfectionist. The main goal is to maintain fluency so your ideas and stories are conveyed. Not that every sentence must be grammatically perfect. For example, if you think, he go to market, instead of, he goes to the market, it's not a big problem. What matters is you are forming the habit of thinking in English. Gradually, through practice and more exposure to correct English, your brain will self-correct and improve grammar over time. Mistakes are signs of progress. Consider every mistake as a step forward on your English learning journey. When you make errors, it means you are trying and your brain is working to learn how to use English. Don't fear mistakes or criticize yourself too much. encourage yourself for trying and thinking in English. A positive attitude will help you overcome difficult times and maintain a consistent practice habit. Positive thinking is also an important part of building confidence in communication. Consistent daily practice is the key to success. There is no shortcut to becoming proficient in English other than consistent and persistent practice. Even if you spend only 5 or 10 minutes daily practicing thinking in English, as long as you maintain it long term, you will notice clear improvements. Build a specific practice schedule. Whether in the morning, while walking, or before sleeping, the important thing is to keep this habit as an indispensable part of your life. Don't let busy or tired moments become excuses to quit. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace and style. Don't compare yourself to others and lose motivation. Instead, focus on your own progress. No matter how small, every step forward is valuable and deserves recognition. You can be a beginner, but with perseverance and the right methods, you will become a confident and natural English speaker in no time. Celebrate every small progress. Every time you remember a new word, or think a full sentence in English without translating, that is a victory. Praise and motivate yourself to keep going. Recognizing and celebrating small achievements will give you energy and inspiration to keep practicing long term. Optimism and positivity are the most important motivators to conquer any language. Learn to relax and don't pressure yourself. Sometimes, practicing thinking in English can feel stressful or tiring, especially when you face difficulties or don't see clear progress. At these times, give yourself rest and relaxation and don't put too much pressure on yourself. You can switch to lighter activities like listening to English music, watching movies, or thinking about your favorite topics in English. This helps you maintain comfort and joy in learning, making it easier to return to practice. Set realistic and specific goals. Instead of setting overly high and difficult goals, break them into smaller, realistic, and easy to achieve parts every day. For example, today you will name 10 objects in English in your head or describe 5 simple actions while doing housework. Small goals make it easier and less stressful. When you complete small goals, you will feel successful and ready for the next challenge. Blank, blank. In summary, your attitude and how you treat yourself during practicing thinking in English determine your success. Don't pressure yourself too much for perfection. Be persistent and accept every small progress. You are on a journey to build a new thinking habit, and every step counts. Remember that everyone learning English goes through similar struggles. The key is to never give up. Keep your motivation and positive spirit. With the right method, you will improve day by day and master the language. 5. Conclusion. The journey of practicing thinking in English. Start with small steps. After understanding the importance of thinking in English, the outstanding benefits it brings, and specific ways to practice, now you are ready to start transforming your thinking. But first, remember that every great journey begins with small steps. Start with simple habits. You don't need to change everything in your life immediately. Start by naming the objects around you in English every day. For example, when you sit at your desk, think table. When you see your phone, think phone. Along with that, try describing small actions like, I am drinking water. I am opening the door. These small habits may seem simple but are the solid foundation helping your brain build the habit of thinking in English. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are stepping stones to progress. During the process, you will certainly encounter errors. From mispronunciations to incorrect grammar. That is completely normal and an essential part of learning. Consider every mistake as an opportunity to learn and improve. Every time you notice and correct your mistakes, you help your brain remember the correct way, thus progressing more and more. Perseverance is the key. Success in practicing thinking in English does not come immediately but is the result of daily persistence. Even if you spend just 5 to 10 minutes a day, as long as it is consistent, you will notice clear improvements within a few weeks. Create a specific practice routine with fixed times so your brain is reminded and trained regularly. Every day you practice thinking in English, you are building a valuable and long-lasting skill. Make English a natural part of your life. The ultimate goal is for English not to be a strange language but a natural part of your thoughts and communication. Then you will speak English comfortably and naturally. Like your native language. You can communicate, work, study, and even think about your feelings and plans in English without having to pause to translate or think too long. Believe in your own ability. You can absolutely practice thinking in English and gain confidence in communication. Anyone can do it with the right method and perseverance. Don't let initial difficulties discourage you. Everyone goes through a phase of confusion and challenges. What matters is you don't give up and keep moving forward. Even if it is one small step at a time. Connect with a community and seek support. To maintain motivation and progress faster. Connect with other English learners. Join study groups, forums, or find a friend to practice speaking English together. Sharing experiences, successes, and difficulties will help you feel accompanied and gain strength to continue your journey. The journey never ends. Practicing thinking in English is not a destination but a long journey. Language is always evolving, and practicing thinking in English will help you continuously improve and expand your language skills. Always keep a curious and learning mindset, ready to challenge yourself so that English becomes a tool to help you advance in life and work. Blank, blank. In summary, practicing thinking in English is a profound transformation, turning English from a foreign language into a natural part of your life. Starting with simple habits, practicing consistently, and keeping a positive mindset, you will conquer this language and open many new opportunities for your future. Start today, one small step at a time, and you will find yourself getting closer to your goal of speaking English fluently and naturally like a native speaker.